Hi there traders, this is Steve Miley for FX Explained, and today we're going to go into the Forex Zone. So we're going to take a look at the major currency pairs in here: EURUSD, GBPUSD, dollar CAD, Aussie versus US dollar, New Zealand versus US dollar, and the US dollar versus the Japanese yen. And we're going to look at the day trade potential for these markets going into the end of the week, going into Friday, and also a quick look at the intermediate term outlook. So we're going to start here with the euro versus the dollar, EURUSD. Still very much in a bearish theme in here, capped here by 111.63 on the more recent September rebounds. Intermediate term bearish pressures, short term bearish pressures also resurfacing since mid-September. The market pushing significantly lower this week, not only down through these supports here at 109.89, 109.64, but taking out the lows from September at 109.26 and 109.24, pushing us to yesterday down to 109.0304 area, and that signifies and reinforces a bigger picture and short-term intermediate term bearish theme, short-term and intermediate term bearish themes in here. We're looking lower today, 109.03 and 109.00 through there. There's a minor support just below there at 108.98 as well. Maybe then as deep as 108.62. The market's going to have to clear back above 109.46 for the market to look slightly more positive today. Turning our attention to cable and the pound versus the US dollar. Again, the US dollar strong. So the key theme in here across all of these currency pairs, US dollar strength. So we saw that euro dollar lower, that's US dollar strength. Cable lower in here, pound dollar lower, US dollar strength. Head and shoulders topping pattern in here for cable. Also down through this internal trend line, down to 123.01 over the last 24 hours. Real risk down through here, and for 122.82, maybe as deep as 122.31. That's a critical level that would then actually shift the intermediate term theme back to more bearish. If we look at the Canadian dollar in here now, USDCAD, US dollar Canadian dollar, very much sideways in here from mid-September. Really not much going on, but an underlying positive tone from this recovery from earlier in September. The market repeatedly rebounding off of this 132.28.29 area, and that leaves us with a slight upside bias going into the end of the week today. Let's turn our attention to the Antipodeans, the Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar. Again, US dollar strength in here and in a risk-off mode generally. We're seeing US dollar strength and Aussie dollar weakness in here. So the market's sliding from mid-September, lower in here again this week, down to 67.35, taking out this important 67.56 support area. Risk today for a challenge to 67.35 and 67.21. For the New Zealand dollar, we had a push lower earlier in September down to 62.51, then a decent rebound more recently, but capped off by this 63.62 level, and the setback from below there from 63.49, leaving again a negative bias. The US dollar stays strong, aiming today maybe back to 62.63 and even the cycle low at 62.51. And let's finish off with the Japanese yen in here. So the Japanese yen, USDJPY, the dollar even managing to rebound against the Japanese yen, even though we're in risk-off scenario, should see the yen outperforming the dollar in here. You know, equity markets are looking more vulnerable. We're generally across the board in a risk-off scenario. Bond markets are rallying. So risk-off usually sees US dollar yen lower. It was lower earlier in here through the second half of September, but this week we've seen a rebound in dollar yen, and that's really, if anything, leaving a slight upside threat. But whilst below 108.03, we're hanging on to the negative theme in here. We're seeing that risk-off theme as more dominant, and we're looking for negative pressures to come back for dollar yen. So that's yen strength in this case, and there's a little bit of US dollar weakness. Should the market get above 108.03 though, that would flip to more positive. In the very short term, we're looking for potentially a move back down towards 107.31 support. This has been Steve Miley for FX Explained in the Forex Zone. I'm going to wish you a great trading day. Don't forget to follow us and like us on our YouTube channel. Have a great trading day.